and welcome to part 2 of our video tutorials on the APA referencing style. In part 1, we gave a general overview of the APA system. In part 2, we're going to hone in on how to format your in-text citations. APA is what's known as an author-date system, meaning that every time you use someone else's research, you cite within the body of your work their name and the date they published that work. With in-text citations, you are providing enough details in the body of your writing so that specific original source texts can be identified. The idea behind this is that it gives your reader just enough information to consult your reference list to identify your original source, if they so choose. In-text citations are either done as quotations or paraphrases. When you use a direct quotation, you should also include the page number or numbers that quote comes from as part of your in-text citation. When page numbers are available, this will not always be possible for online sources, for example. In-text citations have two formats, parenthetical and narrative. In parenthetical citations, the author's surname and publication date appear in parentheses or round brackets. For example, if you don't mention the author directly in your sentence, you should include a parenthetical citation. So you place the author's surname and publication date in parentheses, brackets, at the end of your sentence. Please note that if the source has 3 or more authors, just write the first author's surname, followed by et al. In narrative citations, the author's surname is incorporated directly into your text as part of your sentence, and the year only follows in parentheses. An example is when you directly name your source's author in your writing. So for instance, Adams said, Adams has argued, etc. In that case, immediately after using the author's surname, you put the publication date only in brackets. Two concepts that are very important in any referencing system are paraphrasing and quoting, or using quotations. Paraphrasing means to state someone else's work in different words, especially in a shorter or simpler form to make the meaning clearer, thus restating someone else's thoughts or ideas in your own words. When you quote, you include the words and ideas of others in your text exactly as they have expressed them in the work you have consulted. There are slight differences between how you present in-text citations when you're paraphrasing versus when you include direct quotations. Generally speaking, you should paraphrase more often than quoting, as this is beneficial for two reasons. Firstly, it lets the reader see that you understand what you've read, and secondly, it helps keep the flow of your own writing. But remember, every time you quote someone's words directly or make use of their ideas or concepts paraphrased into your own writing, you must include an in-text citation to that original work. Using an author's exact words can include short or long quotations. If your quote is less than 3 lines long, or less than 40 words, you should place it in double quotation marks. If you are using a parenthetical citation, you simply write the author, date, and page number in brackets at the end of the quotation. If you have used a narrative citation, you can place the date either immediately after the author's name in parentheses, or include it alongside the page number, and that page number can be placed at the end of the quotation. There are also times when long quotations are necessary. Long quotations are those that are more than 3 lines long or more than 40 words in length. An example is what you are seeing here. You do not put long quotations in quotation marks, but rather indent them from the main body of the essay. This is known as block indentation. Apart from that change, everything else remains the same. And finally, with paraphrasing, remember that you are using someone else's work in different words, either for clarity, flow, or to demonstrate your understanding. Here are examples of how you can paraphrase the same information from our example quote on the previous slide about short quotations, using either parenthetical or narrative in-text citations. Note the most important difference. We do not use double quotation marks when paraphrasing, as these are not the original author's exact words. But again, in a parenthetical in-text citation, you simply write the author, date, and page numbers where possible in brackets at the end of the paraphrased sentence. And again, if you have used a narrative citation, you can place the date either immediately after the author's name, in parentheses, or include it alongside the page number, or that page number alone can be placed at the end of the sentence. There are now many apps or software options available to help streamline the citation process. Examples include Microsoft Word's inbuilt referencing tool, EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley, to mention just a few. These can be extremely helpful tools, but it is still essential that you understand the basics of referencing and in-text citation yourself. Knowing what to look for can help you spot and avoid any potential issues. To learn more about APA referencing, you can watch Part 1 of our online tutorials, which gives an overview, or Part 3, which discusses your reference list. Our online LibGuide gives further in-depth information and links to further online APA resources. And if you still require help, please get in touch with the library for any further assistance. Thank you very much for watching.